All right. And we are on.
Excellent.
So, greetings. Welcome back to the Artist Lounge. And we've got a really special guest for you today, an artist. The crazy thing is that I actually haven't met this guy in person until today. And we've been in conversation for a while, talking about art, talking about music, songs, and life. And I'd always have the pleasure of getting those once every 6 month calls that were really special. And just between the different lives and schedules, it was a little chaotic at times. And we'll give him a chance to tell you what he's been up to for the last year. It's a crazy, crazy cool story. But we're looking at 10 plus years of instrument playing and songwriting, self-taught as a songwriter, and multi-genre as far as industrial, punk, rap, R&B, a little bit of country. Hailing from Holly Springs High School with some military background afterwards, with specifically the Air Force as a aircraft maintainer. And I'll save some of the other juicier parts of his story for him to tell you. Please welcome to the Artist Lounge, Mr. Brett Fox.
Thank you very much for having me, man. I'm grateful.
This is so cool, man.
It is cool.
Wow. So you know what? Let's just start from the beginning, and then we'll get into kind of what's been going on the last year. I want to say 2 years. Beginning stages.
Yeah.
When walk me through how music touched you. Where did it come from? Who started it for you?
Yeah, my mother was probably the biggest regular influencer. She was the one that let me listen to whatever I wanted and showed me whatever I wanted. And I mean, this was growing up. You would think that, you probably think that she was a bad mother if you saw what I was listening to, what she would allowed me to listen to. She kind of opened me up, but she got me a guitar when I was very young, but I didn't play it. I kept it under the bed for a while. And then for Christmas one year, she sent me, while I was somewhere else, she sent me in the mail for Christmas a stereo with 3 CDs. It was a Blink-182 Best Hits. It was a Sum 41 All Killer No Filler, and Green Day's Doogie. So my dad picks me up and he's like, "What'd you get for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Oh, I got these CDs." Never really heard of them. At the time, Green Day was big because of American Idiot, and I thought it was overplayed on the radio, so I wasn't interested. And he was like, "I used to listen to that when I was, like working on the farm." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And he put the disc in, and we're jamming out to Green Day in the car. And I never saw my dad open up like that. And
wow.
And I took that hard. I took that serious. And then I decided I want to play guitar. I liked what my dad did. That was like one of the very first times I remember my life changing. They say like every 7 years something happens that changes your life forever, and I think that was one of them. And I taught myself from there. Try to learn every song on that album.
And what time frame was that again? Year was for you?
I was probably around 12-ish.
Okay.
Or so, maybe a little bit younger.
It's funny. I had a similar experience. I mean, I was playing since I was 4, and my parents threw me into it for various reasons, like in the arts. It's kind of a long story. We won't get into it here, but around that same age was when I got exposed to, the cowbell skit happened on SNL, and
classic.
We went to a record store or whatever, FYE or something, and I wanted to get Blue Oyster Cult. My dad was like, "Well, let me let you hear this other band first," and he played me Deep Purple, Machine Head, and I was like, "All right, let's go with that." So that was a real seminal moment for me too, and kind of like father-son thing where we were always listening to the Beatles and everything, but he like showed me and he was like, "Yeah, this is the real junk. Like this is it." Yeah. And so I definitely I feel that. That's cool. Yeah. So Green Day, and it's funny because I had that written down here as an influence. Let's go into some influences real quick because I know you come from Sublime world, Green Day world. Is there anybody else significant, and who are they?
I've since really got into experimental music with 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah, Trent, man.
Trent Reznor's, Dave Grohl. All of these people. David Bowie, of course. All these people are quite important in the way that I perceive not just music, but kind of everything.
How about Hurt, man? Yeah. What a song.
Song.
And what an accomplishment to have somebody like Johnny Cash come in and do a cover. I mean, could you imagine that?
Could never imagine if
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And both versions are amazing.
Oh yeah.
I listened to the Johnny Cash version a little bit more for some reason, but just stellar.
It's still very good.
Oh,
yeah,
incredible.
Everything from in country, same thing. I enjoy. I like the older country, Randy Travis, Johnny Cash.
Great guitar players in country music. I mean, Brad Paisley's
amazing.
Off the
he can
charts.
Tear that thing up. The Telecaster, man. I've always wanted a Telecaster because of him. That was always the main reason why I ever wanted one. Still haven't got one though. I want a Bender, but I don't. I need to wait.
Well, it's funny because that brings perfect segue. Guitars.
Right.
And we'll get into the shootout a little bit later with more specifics, but Tellys. What else? Because you've got a Gretsch, right?
I got a Gretsch Electromatic. That's a great guitar. Love it. Still play it. Debated on selling it a lot, but I just ended up keeping it because I love it so much. My favorite guitar that I play is a Gibson CM. It's like feels like a Les Paul, but it plays like a Les Paul Jr. Just one bridge pickup, just tone, volume, and I love it. Love the simplicity of it. And then I have other ones that I have. I have like 2 Ibanez's. I have a Strat.
Ibanez puts out some great stuff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I got this little micro bass. I'll have to show it to you before you head out.
No, you showed me.
Oh, I did. That's right.
Yeah. The scale.
Right when I got it. Yeah.
On it.
Well, you got to play it before you head out.
I have I just bought my first Strat ever, 2004.
Oh, cool.
Road worn. I loved it. I love the way that it's just destroyed. I don't like it when it's like too glossy. The only one that's fancy is the Electromatic, and that's the one I keep.
You and I have very, very similar preferences on that. I'm the same way, man, because you feel like you have to baby the guitar.
Right.
And it's like, come on.
Yeah, anyone I've ever played with, when they had their equipment and they were so picky on just like the quality of it and the shining it, and it's like, come on, like every nick and crack is like a memory, and it's like it's got to be on there. And if you can't, I don't know. I find it the prima donnas in music to be a little.
Are you the same way with cars?
Yeah, like
okay, so it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, who cares? As long as it does what it does, and I like it, that's all that matters.
Did you ever watch Californication? Mm-hmm. It's like Hank Moody's Porsche. He takes the headlight, just buys a new Porsche. Yeah. Something's not right. I'm gonna smack the headlight. Yeah, that's a hilarious show.
That's a great show, man.
Songwriting process. Right. Now you can. Here I go, palming the mic again and making a nice little pop. I planned that, by the way. As an artist, you consider yourself, correct me if I'm wrong, a songwriter first.
Correct.
It's cool.
Yep.
I got that kind of down from the vibe.
I'm bad at communicating in general, like how I feel.
Interesting.
So,
would have never guessed that, but
writing it down makes it a little bit more easier to understand how I feel. Seeing it in front of me is a better way, I guess, to understand myself. Like I see it and it's in front of me. This is how I feel, because in my mind it's just running and it's running. So if I try to capture what I can get first, like if I get it down and I have it in front of me, it's usually just sentence fragments and just not like vague things, but I understand them better when they're in front of me.
Are you starting with melody and chords first, or lyrical?
Usually lyric things come first.
Interesting.
Usually lyrics come first.
I'm the exact opposite.
Right. And sometimes I'll have something. I already have like things in mind. I write on sticky notes. I keep a sticky note and I punch a hole in it, and then I have it on a big ring. And I put them in categories of whatever key it's in. And if it works right with what I'm looking for, if it's a sadder song, if it's something more about something deeper, I try to go for a minor, of course,
Right. Do you find like this is really interesting? Are there certain keys that just keep showing up for you? Yep. More so than vocally. I'm saying like sonically, you can sing well in a certain range. We all can.
Right.
And some keys work better than others, but like for me, I just keep coming back to like E flat.
E flat, yeah. Cool.
For you, is there one or two
E flat is a good one.
Do you do half tuning down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you and I are the same with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Half step down, drop stuff once in a while whenever I feel like it, but half step down.
Yeah. It's a great key. I just think the guitar, to me, it has more body, it has more warmth. I mean, I do like standard tuning as well, but something to be said about that E flat.
Yep.
For sure.
I agree. It's definitely unique. I like to mix it up. I like to try to put different strings somewhere.
What are you playing now?
As in my tuning? Just half step down or full
Well,
step
strings.
Down. Strings, I use elixirs now.
Okay.
Elixirs. Yeah.
Capos?
Not much.
Yeah.
If I do, it's extreme capoing. Like I'm talking
like
almost
different
all the way up.
Different tuning, maybe even.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever experimented with like capoing half the strings?
No, never have.
It's interesting.
I should. Yeah, I definitely should. I should definitely get into that. I know I should. Right now there's a meme somewhere of this girl who has a capo on a guitar, but she's playing it below the capo. And it's like a music video. I don't know if you've seen it.
That's funny. I gotta see that.
Yeah,
you gotta send that to me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find that somewhere. It's pretty good because everyone's making fun of it like that. Doesn't even people that don't play guitar know that doesn't make sense.
How many songs do you think you have right now as far as
completed?
Yeah.
Less than 20.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's because I would say songs that I can't really figure it out because I don't think I have the ability to figure it out is more closer to 100. But 20 I would say is where I'm comfortable playing with other people and introducing. I just have specific sounds in my head I can't get out because I don't have what I have. 20. I'd say close to 20.
Okay, cool. Let's get into military for a second. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. How long you been in for?
3 years.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Why? Why did you get in? Let's kind of dive into that for a second.
I wanted to pursue music. And I started when I got out of high school, I was trying to do music. And I wasn't seeming to get anywhere with it. And I only did it for a short amount of time. And then I was playing at a couple places with some friends that I knew and some people. And it was more drugs and alcohol I started seeing that I didn't want to be a part of. And I noticed I was running out of money. I was just working at a pizza place. And I was like, I want to go to college, but I want to do something different. I talked to my father, who was prior military Marine Corps, and I was like, I want to join. I want to get away from it. I want to have a secure way to do this. I want to go into the military, and I thought of all the ways I could make contacts with people through music with the military, traveling. I could have just done whatever I wanted, and I would have money, and I would have education and everything. And I decided just to go to the Air Force. Air Force was the cleanest way for me.
Yeah. Now, where was basic training?
Texas, San Antonio.
That's where my buddy was. 6 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was an interesting, from his account, it was an interesting 6 weeks.
Yeah. It's everyone has a different experience, it seems, but
how did it go for you?
I had a good time. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved
it.
If you had to tell a 17, 18-year-old recruit, what would you prep them with for whatever it is, hell week or
Don't be what's called the chow runner. Don't do that. I was a chow runner. Ooh. Don't do that. Whatever you do, just don't do that. It's a terrible job. It's a job.
Was that working in the kitchen or
no? You bring in all of the people that you're with in boot camp, all 50 of them. Your flight, you bring them all in, and you're the one that gets to be. It's all on your back if your flight gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to be. It's all on your back if your flight gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to all of these, 50 of them. You're the one that gets to eat or not, because you have to go up and you have to report to these military training instructors, and you have to answer their questions, and they just yell at you and scream at you in front of everybody. It's really embarrassing. And if you mess up, they'll send you to the back of the line where everyone else is trying to do the same thing. So, I mean, whoever does the best gets the food first, and it just kind of,
Wow.
yeah, it's really embarrassing. It's really hard, and they're really mean.
Was this volunteer?
No, I got asked if who wants to do, I think it was something that has to do with like, who wants to do something with food? And I was like, raising my hand, like, good, you're a chow runner. And at the time, I didn't know what that was.
Right.
But
Did
now I
anybody know what it was?
Some people did. The people who were like studied so hard into the military.
Okay.
They knew what it was, and they're like, ooh, but
Nah.
bad job, terrible. That's the worst one. Yep.
So after the 6 weeks, was it more classroom after that then?
Classroom was during it.
Okay.
Classroom was during it, and then you go to tech school. You go to technical training, which mine was for a few months to go learn your actual job in the military, and that was more classroom orientated. That was when you sit down and you learn your job.
Were you working on planes then?
I was working on the equipment that works on planes, as in these big generators and these floodlights, all these things.
Like
things
utilities almost for
correct. I worked
sense.
on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it
That's
was great.
cool.
It was a good experience. I like how things were black and white. I've always been interested in doing like a maintenance thing, whether it be for
Working with your hands.
yeah
Per se.
and I never really got a chance to until the military, and it was good. It was definitely a good.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good job.
So then we have, which is really the kind of the climax of your life story thus far. In my opinion, it may not. I'm sure it is for yours though.
Yeah.
For your perspective, had kind of a hiccup with something about a year ago, a big something.
Yeah.
Explain what that was.
One day I just noticed that my sleep was kind of off. Wasn't sleeping as much. Didn't know what was going on, and started seeing therapy because I didn't know what it had been. And then I got tired of seeing therapy because I was like, I don't like talking about myself, like I said. So I just decided to stop going. So completely unrelated, I got some blood work done, and I get a call from someone higher ranking in the neurology field. She said, "Hey, I got your paperwork kind of came across my desk, and I have your notes and your blood work, and I'm just curious. I just want to get you in an MRI real quick." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do that." She's like, "Nothing to worry about. I just want to make sure you're good." So I go get an MRI. Everything's fine. Come back. She wants to meet with me again. She tells me that there is a what's called the pituitary adenoma growing on the brain, and it's causing all kinds of problems, all kinds of hormonal problems specifically, which is causing my sleep problems, which is causing a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I was freaked out. My boss was sitting right there with me, and he was right there to hear it. And it was definitely a different world to be in all of a sudden.
While you were in the military, this was all happening. Yeah.
Correct. So we went, and I got a look at it. We got a biopsy of it, and everything's growing very slow, but everything's good. Everything's positive with that. They started taking me to see what they can get done with it. Where it's located and the size of it, it would do more damage than good to remove it. So
how did they perform that biopsy?
they took a needle approximately this long, and they went up my nose, up through the cavity, and an X-ray, and I didn't even feel it. Very little blood.
Were you awake?
Military, they just they know that we just get it over with. Let's just do it. And they're not messing around.
Local anesthetics.
Yeah, they like numbed it up first.
Yeah, they numbed it up first.
Yeah, they numbed it up first. I didn't feel it. Didn't feel it at all. No blood, almost no blood.
Wow. Well, the pituitary gland is where is it? Dead center.
It's
almost.
It's in the bot. It's kind of below your eyes in the back, in the middle, kind of like in the middle. Yeah. It was safe what they did, they said. So
They say.
yeah, it was great.
Jeez. That is I'm speechless.
Yeah, that was the least of the
How long did
concern.
that take?
A minute.
1 minute.
They numbed me up. I waited a few minutes, and then they just went in and did it. They're like, all right.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was great.
Now, were they able to actually see the needle visually, or were they just like kind of shooting?
No, they had me under an X-ray, and they could see what they were doing.
Where it was going. Yeah,
Right.
that's what
They
I
knew what
thought.
they were doing. He said he was doing it for over however many years.
Jeez.
And yeah, trusted him. It was good. It was good.
So, treatment's working, which is great. And I mean, we talked about it. When you told me, I couldn't believe it. You know, we had that phone call about a year ago, and I was like, wow.
Same exact way I felt.
So it really leads to future plans, because that, through a monkey wrench and you know, I guess the military,
Right.
honorary discharge,
Honorary, full medical. Retired, actually. I got 80% disability, which is great.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice money come in monthly. You know, have the backup. I have healthcare for life, free, kind of free. Comes out of the money, but still,
Right.
still great. And then, yeah, everything's covered. It's gonna be great.
Wow. That's, I mean, it you know, it's kind of ironic to say what a blessing, but it is in disguise.
Yeah.
In a way. So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Doing some work with Guitar Center, managerial, which leads me to the record label Granddaddy Vision.
Right.
Can you expand on, you know, this statement of wanting to create a label, get into studio work? Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 10 years?
I guess I'm gonna have to back up a little bit for that.
Sure.
Like I said, the drugs and alcohol thing was a very scary thing for me.
Yeah, I have sobriety campaign / statement here. So if you,
Correct.
maybe that's where this all ties in.
Yes, this is exactly where it all ties in. I lost a friend due to alcohol. Died in his own vomit in the military. So
Wow.
yeah, it kept like kind of seeming like little pieces along the way that seems like this might be the right choice for me. And I decided back before I even joined, I wanted to do music, not necessarily my music, but I want to help people and kind of show people sobriety, love, separate from everything that seems to be almost socially normal in the music industry. And I didn't have the money to do that, of course. You know, I didn't have anything. So, of course, being with the band that I was with, I saw it happening in front of me. So I'm like, I can't be a part of it. Joined the military. And I've always thought about retiring from the military with the money and the attitude to do this in 20 years or more. It's going to take a long time to retire from the military. And I've always thought about it, but time came faster when I told that you have the tumor on the brain. So when that happens, you're kind of like, you're stuck. You don't know what you're going to do, but then you think about your future. Like,
Yeah.
they kind of give me the decisions, what I can do with my future. And they said, we can retire you now. And I'm like, wow, that's 18 or 17 years earlier than what I planned.
Right.
So now, in that time, I was planning on learning about more into music, more actually tangible, like equipment, audio stuff. I'm not sure about. All I know is from watching interviews with Trent Reznor and people like Dave Grohl, Billy Joe Armstrong, all these people who have their own, Jack White, all these people that have their own studios and these own, I guess, little labels and record labels that they have. That's all I ever learned was from them. So,
Makes sense.
right. And I wanted to advance that. So now I am. So now I'm working at a Guitar Center trying to learn as much as possible. And I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's cool.
It's a good job.
Yeah, for sure. And where are you right now as far as, you know, I've got taste written down here and process. Like, do you see yourself as becoming a producer to a certain extent?
Yes. Like, I guess going into the 10-year thing, I see myself learning. I want to do all genres for anybody. I plan on in 10 years, around that time, I want to, of course, have a significant other in the life that will help support what I do. And that's a big thing that I emphasize on, is a significant other that will support me and what I want to do. And I'm going to do that, save up all the money that I have, that I'm getting right now, still work with music, meet contacts through then. Like, I'm already working at the Guitar Center. I'm meeting a ton of people, like from all people. I had a guy who just came in. He was a congressman that was in an REM cover band, like a popular one. And he gave me his card and he's like, yeah, hit me up sometime. We can talk. And I'm reaching out to him now. And this is why I'm doing it. This is exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
10 years, I see myself having my own studio and starting to get involved, like actually move to a certain location that I want to be at, make contacts, and try to get it started.
Do you have any idea of where you think you're going to be?
A part of me wants to say Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, because that's where I was stationed at. Probably the best place I was at. Probably the most interesting place with music.
I've heard there's a lot of music out there.
A lot.
And more from just you as a source, from other folks.
Mm-hmm. That was one. North Carolina, back here.
Right.
Seems like to be a good place. It's growing rapidly here
in
this
really
Raleigh
is.
area. Or leave the entire country in general. Go somewhere else entirely.
Europe, perhaps?
Europe, maybe Canada even.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of music out in Vancouver.
Yes.
Toronto too. Those are the two that come to mind.
I've done my research on kind of where the circulation of there seems to be not enough people to do recording versus there's too many bands. Germany is a big one. Germany right now, rock is a very big thing. And the live music there is also, it just follows that.
Yeah.
North Carolina here, I would like to be here. It's a great place. Arizona. Yeah, that's really about it. I still don't know that yet.
Okay.
I'm still piecing that together, but I definitely know where I want to go with it. I definitely know what direction.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Any shows coming up in the future as far as you as a songwriter and as an artist? Is it just going to be kind of a side thing then, from what I'm hearing? Or
for right now, I'm just playing at local bars, whatever.
Yeah,
just so I can get acclimated to my own self, not necessarily for. Not trying to promote anything. I just want to see what I write down and see how well it feels when I'm in front of people. I'm not actually trying to do anything with it.
Gotcha.
Yep. By myself, I'm trying to meet contacts, trying to meet people that are, it's hard to see someone that has the same vision as me.
Absolutely.
It's hard to find that specific, what I want to do with myself. I want to have different bands for different things eventually in the future, but the main one I want to really work on, and I find myself in a lot, is industrial rock. This like experimental rock that I want to. It's hard to find people that feel that same exact way or hear the same things I hear.
Right.
That's also hard for me to even write it down. So
a lot of it is experimental anyway, because it's experimental. You gotta work on dialing the sounds in. I feel. That's like a major component of the instrumentation, is just that alone. Not necessarily playing it, but playing with it, So let's get to the shootout. I'm interested to see what, and I have like 10 here, but I may add, I just added another one that I always ask everybody at the end, but let's just start with guitar,
Right.
What comes to mind? What do you want? What are you looking for in general?
I'm a weird fan of simplicity.
Okay.
I like things like Les Paul Juniors, just simple, as simple as possible, so I can make the most out of it without having the potential of other things in the way. I had an Ibanez, just a hollow body. I took the bridge out because I just didn't want it. I just didn't want even it to be there. So I literally took it out.
Wow.
That's just how I am. I don't know. So simple the better. I don't even care. As long as it plays well and it does what I want it to do. That's all I care about.
All right, so vocal mic.
Yep. The VC100 was the one that I've always used. I like the range of it. I can get away from it. And because I move a lot, I'm a very different person when I'm playing music. I'm moving. I'm physically involved in it. And I like to not have to worry about accuracy of where I'm standing rather than just making the sound happen.
Right.
My voice is very, not good. It's good. It's good for what
I don't know if I agree with that.
It's good for what it does. But my range personally is not the best. So I like to just get the sound I want out, not worry about how far I got to be, how close do I got to be.
Right.
Yeah, and that one did really well with it.
That's cool, man.
Yep.
Drums.
Anything. Play it all. I would like to do like Nine Inch Nails. I'd like to have, of course, a full acoustic set with whatever electric components to add to it. I like Roland. Roland makes really good sounds.
I'll show you the Roland we've got in the main room over there. It's served me well.
Yeah. Roland has made great stuff.
Bass.
Yet again, the simpler the better. Anything I can tear apart and make it simple. Anything to get a specific sound.
I like that.
People say that SG basses are
those are pretty gnarly.
Ugly. A lot of people say they're ugly. I think they're
pretty cool
they're
looking.
SG basses. I don't know why. Yeah, we have one at Guitar Center.
We talked about this earlier, but strings, you said Elixir.
Elixir.
A little bit more specific as far as
12s.
Okay.
Yep.
On electric.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to make sure I don't miss.
Jeez.
I'm moving.
Jeez.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Because even with E flat, that's a chore.
Yep. I'm weird. I like pick. Thick picks.
Yeah, same.
Thick. Can't do.
What were you to say about strings?
Strings.
Before I cut you off with
no. I just Elixir was good. I always used Ernie Ball until probably about 2 years ago. I switched to Elixir because I just found out they're just better. Like I said, I'm moving so much. I like the way that it doesn't sound right. Like that there's a lot I have to I have to be sloppy because of course the gauge itself. I like that
it's part of it
correct.
For you.
Yes.
It's part of the style.
Correct.
Backup vocals.
Hopefully I can get more of that. I need that.
Hopefully. So that's just the word, hopefully.
Yes.
I'm hopeful. Amp.
I like Marshall. Marshall. Marshall's always been a good one.
Yeah.
I've been interested in a Fender Blues, but I've always used a Marshall Valve State. Has been great. It's been awesome.
What's a wattage on that? I don't think I've ever played through
130.
Gee, what is that? What is that? A half stack?
That's
combo?
The head. I used crate
for the
yes,
cabs.
for one, because when I was younger it was cheaper. But since I also realized that now that if I use a crate, it's very clean and it gets the interference of what I want to get away from. So like if I want to put a Marshall with a Marshall, you're going to get that sound. Right. I don't want that. I want something where I can hear a little bit clearer of what's coming out of the head, not necessarily what's coming out of the speakers.
Interesting. So you're probably using, 75 watt cones then?
Correct.
Okay, because I've got, I'll show you this before you head out, but we've got a 75 times 4? It's 270, I think, whatever it is. Don't hold me to that. I'm not even thinking about math right now. I promise I have a business degree. let's just say like around 250, 270 watt, and then there's the one with the Celestion 30s.
Right.
And it's funny because I somehow always go back to the 30s.
Right.
Because they just break up so beautifully. And I use the 68 Bassman. I was actually reamping some stuff the other day. And yeah, it's like, it's a watered down Marshall 4x12 with the 30s in it. But I love it. Yeah. And then the big one, which is a little bit, I mean, it's still 412. It's just a little bit larger. It's like a cabinet 1960A or 1960B, whatever. It's got the 270 watt in it, whatever, estimated, and
right.
it's definitely got more headroom, obviously. But
I'm gonna have to hear it. I'm gonna have to definitely hear that.
Yeah,
that sounds
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting take on that because I do the same thing.
Yeah,
try different cabinet out, see what happens. Because it makes a lot of the sound. Favorite record. I'm throwing you some bombs here.
Right.
We can go with 5.
Record.
If you can think of 5 or 3. Whatever.
Okay, Green Day Dookie.
Okay.
Though that has since, it is my favorite, one of my favorites, but it has since kind of left my, the way that has impacted my music. I would say Year Zero by 9 Inch Nails. The Wall.
Okay. Somebody else said The Wall.
Yeah.
I think it was Maverick when he was on.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's hard because back here, I like Ray Charles. So
hell yeah.
anything from anything around anything 60s Ray Charles is very good. All of those records are very good.
Cool.
And my fifth one, it's not easy. It's just not easy to answer this.
No, of course. That's why we throw it at you.
I'm going to say Rocket to Russia. Ramones. Gotta put that.
Was that
on
their
there.
first?
Yes.
Did they have Blitzkrieg on it?
Yep.
Okay.
Classic.
I got to go back and see how they tracked that because I swear it was probably 4 mics.
Yeah.
And then his vocal.
Yeah, they were definitely
later.
They were definitely unique. Yeah, they were definitely unique.
It changed everything.
Yep. I appreciate
the simplicity.
Correct. I appreciate that a lot. If you're able to get new sound out of the basics, especially in the old, like back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, though 80s was, obviously exponential with the way that people were.
Things changed a lot. Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot. I find a lot of interest in that.
Favorite vocal performance or a couple?
It's funny you say that. I would have to go vocal performance.
I would say, on a record, or maybe a live recording, whatever, but just, jaw dropping, connecting vocal that somehow transcends and really
right.
just changed you.
Trent Reznor's Hurt. He did a hurricane. It was just him on a piano. It was live.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I think it was for a hurricane. I think he was doing a fundraiser for a hurricane or something.
I know exactly the video you're talking about.
It was beautifully well done.
Yeah.
Different side of him, and it was good.
Just piano.
Yeah.
Just piano.
It was great.
Incredible vocalist.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about somebody who made themselves, as you said, see themselves as limited. From an outsider's perspective, we see the genius.
Right.
But I understand what you mean by that.
Right.
Favorite guitar solo?
Ooh.
I swear this is the last bomb. This is not a shootout. This is a bomb out now. This is like...
I would say... Oh, that's not easy. I want to say anything Chuck Berry, but
damn.
I want to say anything Chuck Berry, but
wow.
I feel like there's more complicated that I could go into.
Well, I mean, I would maybe Gilmore for you.
Yeah. I think Gilmore.
I mean, Gilmore is always a
Jack White did a solo live of, he did a song. What was the song? Blackbird? Is that what it's called?
What, the Beatles?
No. Man, I don't know what I'm thinking of. Jack White did a solo for this song, and it was probably like 5 minutes long, and it's just him using a slide, detuning it, using his mic as a pick, everything. He's destroying this guitar, and that's probably one of the sexiest sounding solos ever. The
Was it live?
Yep, live. Back when he was with the White Stripes.
I'll have to see that.
Yeah, I can't remember what the song is called.
Well, I remember the intro to It Might Get Loud.
Yeah.
And sitting there hammering the... That's great.
Yeah.
The animals just,
Yeah. No, that
the
one's
background.
good. Yeah.
So the wrap-up question, which I guess is the nuke, which really is, it's more philosophical than anything, but
Yeah.
what would you tell your 15-year-old self now if you could go back?
Just when you thought it was already complicated, it's going to get worse. Take that as you want it, as in you can take that as a way to make it better, or get over yourself and move on. With every, when I was 15, I never knew where I would be right now. Right this very second, I would never think that I'd be retired from the military, trying to actually, possibly, within reason, pursue a career in music. With everything that's happened, it's going to get worse, but the best way that you can do it is music, art, surrounding yourself by people who you care about and who care about you. Back then, you're 15. It's like all you focus on is your friends and how people perceive you. But now it's not that way at all. It's all about what makes you happy. And you will eventually find people that feel the same exact way, whether it be romantically or just having friends. You will find someone who understands you.
That's deep. It's good.
Yeah.
We like the deep end here.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time there. So
Yep.
That's cool, man. That's a great answer. Social media, we kind of been over this. You're an off the grid man to a certain extent.
Yeah,
But
I used to be decently popular on social media. I just have since seen what's happening nowadays with the way that I feel like the media is trying to make people feel away, seem away, look away.
Right.
And I just don't want to be a part of that until I'm ready. And I'm not ready. So I'm off. As of right now, I'm off.
Okay.
Yep.
Twitter, is it still active?
It is. It is still active.
Are you still active on it being active?
Yes.
Okay.
I plan on releasing. There is a video of me surprising my my brother after the military, show up in uniform and everything.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to use that as a way to launch everything. I think what I'm going to do in the future is use social media once I'm ready and the military experience at the same time. There's always going to be a constant flow of people going into the military from ages. The demographic is what I'm trying to hit is 18 to 30. There's always people joining at that time. And I want to try to incorporate military advice and living with music. Try to also bring in positive influences.
That's great.
Through that.
That's a great vision.
Yep.
We'll talk when the cameras are off.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of, I've been with the USO for about 10 years doing shows with them. And we have a couple of things that we're trying to work out for this part of the year. So I don't know where your travels, because you're head back to New York for a little bit after this. But we'll talk, because we got to do something musically.
It's got to happen.
We got to do something.
Yeah.
Even if it's two separate projects and we're just doing a separate billing, which is probably what will happen, of course. But that would be great.
Yep.
So Brett Foxy, Twitter, BRETTFOXY, and we'll have that's the correct spelling, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll have that link I'll hunt that down and put it up on the description box for this video. And I mean, that's kind of it, man.
Yeah, man.
I think that sums it all up. Do you have any last words? That's a cool tap, by the way. I love that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we can show that. Oh, nice.
It kind of goes all the way up.
Swirls.
I'm going to eventually get more to go down.
Full sleeve.
Yep. Each one is a song that means a lot to me.
That's great.
And I tend to keep them a secret until I'm hanging out with the person. And then if it comes on, I will say that this is the song that's on my arm. Whether it be my playlist, someone else's. Yeah.
That's cool.
No one knows all of them.
That's cool.
One person knows 3 of them, but that's just because we've hung out so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. I think that about does it.
Yeah.
So, cross out the last 3 here.
Yep.
This has been sweet. And I'm just speechless. I'm just so thankful to have you here.
Thank you.
And let's go check out the studio, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll show you around.
Yeah, man.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been a really, really cool, 45 minutes to an hour here. Thanks for sticking around. Keep an eye out for this guy. He's definitely going to be making a splash and already is. And God bless you, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.